Awkward. My name is Vero from Vero Reads, and this will be my VICTOBER TBR video. Hello! So VICTOBER is a month-long readathon during the month of October, where the only major requirement is reading Victorian literature. It was originally created by Katie from Books and Things, but this year we have a number of hosts. Even though the only actual requirement is to be reading some Victorian literature, each year the various hosts give out some prompts or challenges that would help people branch out and explore different parts or pockets of the broad subject of Victorian literature. This year the hosts are Katie from Books and Things, but also Marissa from Blatantly Bookish, Ro from Scully Dangling About the Books. That's a big word for me, so have some grace. And then the last host is Kate from Kate Howie Reads. Each one of them has come up with a challenge. Katie has come up with the prompt, read something that plays with form in some way, epistolary novels, interconnected short story collections, frame narratives, all that jazz. Marissa from Blatantly Bookish came up with the prompt of read something that was originally serialized, which thankfully is a lot of Victorian literature. I was surprised, even the shortest books that I found a lot of the time were serialized, which is very useful when you're fulfilling a challenge. Then Ro came up with the prompt of experiencing Victorian drama, Victorian theatre, Victorian plays. That means reading a play, but in her announcement video she encouraged people to watch an adaptation of a Victorian play, which I really love. I love that it lets me kind of branch out from like the usual medium of the novel. And then Kate's prompt is read something where religion is a big part of the story or is handled in throughout the story, which again very popular in the Victorian era. There are also two group challenges in honor of two booktubers that were very involved in the VICTOBER community and the Victorian Classics community here on BookTube. One is to read a work from Wilkie Collins in honor of Jennifer Brooks, because that was her favorite Victorian author, and then to read something by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle in honor of Alice and the Giant Bookshelf, as that was her favorite author. And then lastly, there will be a read-along where we'll be reading The Doctor's Wife in the first half of the month. I do believe that it is 2 chapters per day from the 1st until the 18th, if I remember correctly. So these are the prompts. This is the setup for VICTOBER. Now onto my personal TBR. I will be reading The Doctor's Wife. I'll try to. I might not follow the read-along, mainly because I'm not sure that I will be able to read just in those 18 days. I might need to start early. I will probably have to finish later on. But I would do want to try and read the book because it sounds very interesting. For the 2 group challenges, I will be listening to the collected works of Sherlock Holmes by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, read by Stephen Fry on audiobook. For the Wilkie Collins book, I have read The Woman in White and I've loved it. And I've been meaning to read The Moonstone because I think it's his most popular, his most highly regarded work, and also that fits some of the other prompts as well. I can use that to fill out the playing with form prompt, as it's I believe an epistolary novel, and also the reading something that's serialized prompt, because it was originally serialized. For Rose prompt, in her announcement video, she recommended Charlie's Aunt as a play to watch because it's incredibly fun, and also there's a full recording on YouTube. I've heard about Charlie's Aunt from a friend of mine that I think saw the play live, and she had loads of fun. So I will watch that to fulfill that prompt. And then for Kate's prompt, read something that has a religious component, I will be reading Silas Marner by George Eliot, because that has strong religious themes that really get explored in detail. So technically, all of these books would fulfill all of the prompts. That's my solid TBR, what I want to prioritize. But I have an extended TBR because whilst I was watching everybody's announcement videos and everybody's recommendation on what they suggested we could read, and then afterward I also went and did my own research, and I just found too many things. I can't decide. I've been procrastinating making this video mainly because I cannot settle down on an official TBR. So I just put all my options written in pieces of paper in this tiny box, and I believe they're all quite short books because again my first love is novellas, so I just found so many options for very short Victorian, sometimes a bit obscure books that I had never heard of. I put them all here, well, not all of them, the ones that really intrigued me, and I'm just gonna pick some. I don't know how many, so I am leaving it up to fate. I have a D6 here. I'm just gonna roll the die and see what. Hopefully it's not a 6. Oh, hopefully it's not a 6. It's a 3. Thank God. Okay, I'm gonna pick 3 options, and then this will also be useful in case I just go crazy and read everything before October comes and I need more. Okay, so this is exciting. Number 1, Diary of a Nobody by the Brother Grossmiths. I saw this in Katie's video, I believe. Yes, I've been binging like a bunch of her past Victorian VICTOBER videos just to get inspiration. So from one of her VICTOBER videos, I got Diary of a Nobody, which I believe would fulfill the prompt play with form. Apparently I believe it's a satire, very ironic and comedic. It just sounded nice. Second one, Flatland by Abbott. Again, another satire. In this box, there's mainly utopian fiction, horror, and satires, because those are my favorite. Those are my vibe. That's my jam. So Flatland, again, it's a satire, and it's a very experimental novel, I believe, for that time, even to this for today's standards, because it talks about this 2-dimensional land called Flatland, where you have lines and polygons that represents men and women. Yes, there's still gender in a two-dimensional land. Of course, it was Victorian time. And it just talks about, I believe, the inequality of society through this satirical, nonsensical premise. So that's another one. Oh, I really hope there's one that I really wanted, and I hope I get it. I might read it anyway. Yes! Okay! It was this one. It is Impressions of Theophrastus Such by George Eliot, which is these, again, satirical collection of fake essays by this fictional scholar, essayist, called Theophrastus Such. And in each essay, the author, Mr. Such, gives a character study of a fictional character. And it's by George Eliot. So it's like the kind of like, I want to see her mastery of realism put into this context of imaginary, satirical, sometimes comical and nonsensical characters. I was really hoping for this one. So yeah, these are my additional picks. Impressions of Theophrastus Such by George Eliot, Flatland by Abbott, and Diary of a Nobody by the Grossmiths. Okay, that's a good choice. I would read all of this if I could. I just know that I can't because I have a job and I read very slowly and I have other books I want to read in October. So I have too much to read already, but these are very short books, thankfully. So yeah, this will be my VICTOBER TBR. I'll try to get through as many books as I can. I'm very excited. It's the first time I take part in VICTOBER on book 2. I have some videos planned for it and that I'm very excited about. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. We'll see how much I'll manage to read. And yeah, see you next time. Bye bye.